So, improvisation. The final little piece here I want to give you, go back and watch the other 3 videos now in this little series in the playlist. The final piece is all about the state in which you improvise, because once you limit yourself to whatever you master, you take that big circle of what you normally play and go all the way in here, you focus on rhythm, right? And then you start using the structure of response, call and response, whatever you want to call it, or my little bit of an advanced version of that in the previous video. And then there's a thing we need to focus on, and that is why people close their eyes when they play. Right? Because I very often see soloing beginners who close their eyes and lean back, and we're trying to play something that we really don't master, and leaning back and closing our eyes is not going to make that better. What we really need to do is we need to be focused on that that chain of associations when we play. So I'm playing one thing, right? Right? And I'm constantly listening here, and I'm playing something, and then I'm playing something new. And what really goes on now is that I'm actually singing through the guitar. And of course, when I'm playing super fast, I'm not singing through the guitar because I simply cannot comprehend of that many notes. So other things are going on as well. But this is the most fundamental level of improvisation, where you basically speak whatever it is that you want to speak, right? So how do we get to that point? Many people say, how do I learn to play what's in my head? And the way you learn to play what's in your head is to do exactly what we've been doing in these videos, is you limit yourself. So let me hear what's in your head. In this case, I got an A major chord with some added, ninths or whatever. Right? And if I take my tool, now I'm just playing the first position minor pentatonic in the 2nd fret for my A major, right? Like an A major. And what I then do is I can actually, with whatever tool I'm using, I can sing what I play. And of course, I hope I'm playing more pretty than I'm singing, right? Because I'm not so good at that. But I can at least sing the notes in my head, right? Right? So how did that ever happen? That if I just take off, right? How did that happen? Because that's what we need. Instead of asking, how can I play what's in my head? Instead, you should be asking, how can I know my tools so well, whatever tools those are, that I can sing the note before I even play it? That's the key. Because if I can do that, if I can take the 4 middle notes on the 2 middle strings, right, and I take an A major chord in the background, and I can master just those 4 notes, 2nd and 4th fret, and I can start singing as I play. Right? So I go just cut the delay here. So I can go from every one of these 4 notes into every one of the other 4 notes, right? So I go, right? With every anchor one in. And it seems like a weird exercise, but that is ear training. hearing intervals, when did I ever use that? Oh, that's a minor 7 flat 5, man. That's a, just tell me the freaking chords and let me listen for them, right? I could do that, but to identify different intervals stacked on top of each other, that's cool if you think that's fun to learn. But what really has helped me is that kind of ear training, where you basically right? Where you get so acquainted, so intimately connected to your scales and to whatever you're playing, that you can actually play what's in your head. But it's the other way around. First you need to, right? Then sing it, and then constantly sing the wrong thing until you got those 4 notes down. Right? Once you can do that, then you can expand it, and you go, hey man, the whole fretboard is so big, it's impossible if I have to do that with everything I do. But it isn't like that. Just learning these 4 notes here, right? Then a thing happens. You don't have to do this a lot. So if you just can master the 2 middle strings of the first position minor pentatonal, and then you can, right? And then you can add the, later on, just to that shape, you can add the natural minor, right? And then you can start singing and, directing yourself. It's fun, and you can have a jam track running in the background as you do it. But that connection, really, because now, we talked about the rhythm and all the other things behind this, but now you can actually start going, see, I'm not singing what's in my head, in the same way that I'm not saying what's in my head. It's immediate, right? It's not like, I want to sing what's in my head. It's like, I want to speak what's in my head. Oh, so you spoke it first, right? That's not improvisation. So what you want to do is you want to make it immediate. How do you do that? By having that jam track or that chord from your looper pedal in the background, and then getting to know that first position, minor pentatonic in the beginning, then adding notes. Right? And then see if you can have that instant thing. Then the rest is simply up to your brain and its innate ability to sing music, to play music in that way. It's going to take over at some point. Just like when you were taught to speak, you were sounding like a baby in the beginning, right? Knowing only a few words. And then gradually, as you knew more words, you became so good at it without even trying, right? You were just, what's that? What's that? Right? Then you got all those words. And at some point, they took over, right? The brain took over and started, hey, and then it started combining sentences, and then this sentence, and then this little story, and then that, and then this, right? And pretty soon, you couldn't stop thinking. You're talking constantly, because the brain loves to do that, because it's an idiot, right? All day, about nothing and everything, right? And then, I wonder what to say, right? You have nothing to think about, and it's still talking, right? The same thing goes here. That's why when you hear a song, a hit song that has that very catchy phrase in the chorus, that you keep singing it. The brain loves that. So it's going to take over here as well. You're not going to have to learn every scale shape like this and sing every note that you play. It's going to take over. And it's going to be instant, and that's improvisation. Now, you're not only playing something that makes sense because you use the structure of the previous video where we talked about that, and the rhythm, right? And you master everything that you're actually using, but now you also make a weird kind of sense that's hard to put words to, that is uniquely human, that is musical, that kind of sense, right? That you're improvising now. Right? Because you got that connection with your instrument, and you got your connection with your innate ability to simply create music in the moment. I hope this makes sense. I'm sorry to make it so practical. So if you follow these steps and go back and watch the other videos, and you actually do this every single day, just a simple piece of music in the background, maybe without so much rhythm, and you insist on being able to play whatever or sing whatever you play. Right? You can just play some, right? Right? So you don't even have to be cute about it. You could just play some stuff, play 2 notes, then play them again as you sing them. You over and over and over again. It's really enjoyable, it's very pleasurable, and it will teach you how to improvise. Truly improvise. See you in another video.